Morning. Good morning to all.
Yes, sir. Everybody is muted. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. I welcome you for the Kala webinar series 2. That this series is going to be handled by Dr. Suresh Jenge. The topic is on academic libraries and NAC behind librarianship for better visibility. Friends, today's topic is very important because we are dealing with every college, every universities on the NAC visit and how we have to face the NAC questions and the references and the NAC requirements. So we thought, myself and Subhash Reddy, we were discussing whom can we invite for the second webinar. And Subhash Reddy says that the first name was Dr. Suresh Jenge, who is presently Gulbarga University librarian and the NAC coordinator. And I think there is no introduction is required for Dr. Suresh Jenge. For the last, since 30 years, he is working in the academic environment, and Dr. Suresh Jenge is a leading professional in the field of library and information science, and he visited many countries, and he is a Commonwealth Professional Fellowship and IFLO Fellow, and has published many articles and presented many conference paper in national and international. With this introduction, once again I welcome you all for the Kala webinar series 2, and I handed over to Dr. Suresh Jenge to conduct this session. Thank you, sir. Dr. Suresh Jenge, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning to all of you. Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay. Very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I thank the esteemed members of Kala, particularly Professor A.Y. Asundi sir, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir, Dr. Subhash Reddy, and other members for giving me this opportunity to be part of this online class. And in fact, the Kala has set a new benchmark in the annals of Kala activities and services, especially in this COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, my main contention of today's lecture is on academic libraries and NAC. I'll be dealing with the dynamism of librarianship, and I will discuss the vibrant role played by librarians in the entire process of NAC. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are all well aware that the assessment and accreditation through NAC, that is a National Assessment and Accreditation Council, is a mandatory. Rather, it is an obligation on the part of every higher educational institution in the country, especially degree colleges and universities in India, to undergo this NAC process for once in 5 years. Here, the main question arises as to why this concept of assessment and accreditation has come into force. The main reason, it has come into force, especially the question of assessment and accreditation becomes very, very relevant in the present scenario, wherein we have noticed the tremendous growth of higher educational institutions in the country, maybe state, central, private, autonomous, and whatnot. Whenever there is a quantitative growth of higher educational institutions in the country, means there is a caution for quality. And for this, probably this NAC has emerged. And further, there are so many other accreditation agencies like NIRF, National Board of Accreditation, ISO 9001, and other agencies. Today, we will be dealing with only the NAC perspective as to how the vibrant role being played by the librarian in this NAC process. As we were all also well aware that this NAC was established in 1994 as an autonomous institution of University Grants Commission. The main objective of this NAC is to ensure the quality, and this should become an integral part of all the educational institutions in the country. Okay, and here it is needless to mention that the emergence of NAAC has definitely improved the importance of librarianship, the importance of librarians, especially in the colleges and universities. I think you all will agree to me that after the enactment of NAAC, probably there is a lot of improvement in the importance of librarians from the perspective of management, particularly. So the other question also arises to our mind is that prior to NAAC, whether this sort of accreditation was there or not. See, before NAAC also, the libraries have been evaluating and assessing its activities and services in the light of the 5 laws of library science being enunciated by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, the father of library science in India. Okay, and so if you just have a look at the NAAC assessment, the methodology, my dear library professionals, today under the revised accreditation framework, there is a lot of changes in the NAAC process. Probably we think that last time we have done NAAC, nothing much bigger or nothing much complicated. We can do it very systematically even now also. No, because the process of NAAC which you have carried out in the earlier cycle is entirely different. Now it has become totally online, and we need to have a lot of precaution when you are applying for a NAAC. And this NAAC involves 3 processes here. One is a self-study report, that is a SSR. Second is a student satisfaction survey, and third is a peer team report. Here, when you apply for a NAAC, and you have to submit the self-study report well in advance. Okay, I mean just around 6 months before. And this self-study report contains executive summary, profile of a university, extended profile, qualitative indicators, and other factors. So that's an important component. And another important component in the NAAC process is student satisfaction survey. You see, the NAAC people, when you apply for a NAAC, they will ask for the student's email ID and complete details of the students with the email ID. When you submit it, and the NAAC themselves will send a questionnaire to the email ID of the students, and they should get at least 10% of the total student population available in your college or university. Then only this becomes valid, otherwise it will be rejected. So we have to ensure that at least 10% of the total student population gives a response to the NAAC people. And third, of course, it is a peer team review. And here, under the reverse accreditation framework, you need to understand that the 70% is purely a quantitative metrics. Means when you submit this SSR report and also get a student satisfaction survey, when you submit all this, automatically 70% of the marks will be automatically generated by the system, and it will be allotted. Only 30%, that's a qualitative matrix. So the NAAC team will visit to verify only 30%. So 70% of the marks we've already got, means already you have means you already received it. The moment you enter, the moment you create your SSR report, that is the marks have been generated, but physically they will verify 30%. And here you need to understand that around about the 70% of the marks which automatically being calculated by the NAAC computer system, you need to get 30%. Then only you become qualifier. Otherwise, no. You will be rejected, and again you have to revise the entire process. Even for your kind information also, the very recently, the annual quality assurance report, which every college and university has to submit every year, they should also submit, they should also make this quality assurance report purely online. Earlier it was offline, we used to make a post of it, but now, no, not at all. That portion is rolled out completely. Everything is online. See, this is all, the institutional grades and accreditation status. Actually, how much you need to score to get A grade, A+, all those things that you are all well aware. Okay, and the important aspect of this NAC is the 7 parameters which are the basis for evaluation of any college or a university. And one thing, as a practicing librarian, which I have noticed is, see, one of the major challenges of the present librarianship is that we know that the major challenge is, we say that we know almost all the concepts, whether it is a NAC or any new thing that emerge in this modern world. But the major challenge, what I feel is, how many libraries or how many of librarians are really practicing or implementing in his or her library is a major challenge. You see, there are 100 reasons to avoid, but there is a one good reason to do the work. So that we need to develop in our arena of librarianship. And here, the 7 parameters which acts as a guideline for evaluating our college or universities has been listed out. That is our curricular aspect, teaching, learning, evaluation, research, innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, and lastly, institutional values and best practices. So totally involves 1000 marks. You can see that the university, autonomous college and affiliated consultant colleges are there. So the marks almost same, it's 1000 marks of evaluation, but only thing is, for a university, since they are doing more of a research, the marks is 250, but for other thing, for autonomous college, it is 150 and 110 or 120 for affiliated colleges. Okay. So here, on this 7 parameters, again further 7 criteria we can also say. So further, for a university, it will be 34 key indicators and 36 qualitative metrics are available, and quantitatively 79. Totally 115. These are all the questions which we need to answer when we are filling the online entire NAC process. Okay, so the basis of this is again the NAC manual, December 2019. And further, you see, earlier, just one or 2 months back, there were 137 metrics were there. Because of the feedback which was given by librarians and other people, now the irrelevant questions have been removed and they have put only 115, which acts as a base. Okay, and now the question is about the librarians. If we totally 1000 marks are available in the entire NAC process, and where do we fit? We fit in criteria 4, infrastructure and learning resources. Okay, fine. But what is the marks? How much is the marks? 20. Arey yaar, bahut kam ho gaya. 20 marks of 1000 means just 2% of the total 1000 marks being assigned by the NAC. Arey yaar, this is very unfair. Do you think unfair? Fair or unfair is not our cup of tea or not. That matter we let us not decide or just have a this sort of a thing. But only thing is, 20 is there, 20 marks as a librarian I should get. That should be the challenge. अरे यार क्या फर्क पड़ता है अगर वो even 1-2 marks कम पड़े तो भी. No, it doesn't. It matters a lot. Even a 0.1 also matters a lot to get accreditation of A+ or a A grade. That's why never underestimate even the one question or 0.1 also. You see, in the criteria 4, there are 4. 4.1 is a physical facility, 30 marks, library 20, IT infrastructure 30, maintenance is 20. So in this, we fit for 4.2. And now the question is, majority of the librarians would do we think that whether we should be confined to 4.2? What is that? Yeah, I think, see, our job is librarian. I think we should confine only to 4.2 because that is what we deal with, and let us be confined. Then this is not the way answer that we expect from the current dynamism of librarianship. No, we cannot be confined only to the library. We have a significant role to play in other 7 means, including this 7 criteria. We need to play important role. That I will tell you. And this is just for one sample to tell you how dynamic our college librarians, our university librarians are there. This was one of the recent PhD survey which was conducted by Dr. Nirmala, which says that nearly 50% of the government college librarians are occupying the important post of NAC. Not only that, especially today's younger generation, younger librarians, they are acting as a NAC coordinator, they are acting as a RUSA coordinator, they are acting as a IT coordinator, they are acting as a MOOCs coordinator and whatnot. Yeah, this shows that our librarians are on par excellence. They are none to anyone. They are second none to anyone. So that's it. That we can see from our Karnataka State College Librarians Group, especially Dr. Krishnappa, Dr. Muthu Gowda, Nagesh, Dr. Vinod, and there are so many young budding librarians are there. They are doing wonders. You see, that shows that when you are playing this important role, why you need to restrict only to 4.2? No, we have to play an important role in all other criteria also. So before we jump into the other criteria, let us see the cup of tea that we need to focus upon our own library. So there are 4 questions, which we have to prepare. This, the data, the documentation is very essential. And as a librarian, we need to collect for a 5-year data. See, you will be going for a 3rd cycle or a 4th cycle, depending upon that when you are going. So you have to prior to that 5-year data, you need to keep it ready. The first question is, of course, whether your library is automated and other factors are there. Of course, I think majority of the libraries are automated. I think the weightage given is 4 marks. Definitely we will get 4 marks here. And the second question is whether the institution has subscription to the e-journals, e-Shodha Sindhu, or e-Shodha Ganga membership, e-books, databases, and remote access. See, now this is an important aspect. So if we are able to answer, if we are able to say all of the above, everything is available, then you have a chances of getting a full 6 marks with you, right? And there is a template which I'll show you later. The third question is the average annual expenditure for a purchase of a book. This again we have to prepare for the 5 years. Okay. And the fourth question, which we need to prepare well in advance, is percentage of data, means percentage of usage of a library by teachers and students. This is one thing which we the librarians have to take a special care, because the usage part we are a bit weak. The major problem, as you are aware, that how many teachers have entered into the library, how many students have used the library. Of course, there are modern technological systems have emerged and we can trace it. Here, the one important aspect of usage is the usage of electronic resources also. Means when whatever the answer you give, you need to understand that you have to give a supporting document in the entire process of the NAC. We cannot say that, yeah, how many users are visits to your library? I can say almost 5,000 users come to the library. Okay, where is the proof? So you need to devise the proof system. What is that? How we will justify it? That's important. So you need to collect all the proof that is being looked upon by the NAC people when you submit SSR. Otherwise, you will get a 0. Please note it. Okay. And even sometimes, we say that we have conducted training program. Fine. Where is that? So you take a photo. Sometimes we also manipulate, but they will see whether the photo, which means if you say in 2015 you have conducted some program, means on the photo, when you take a photo, to try to use that geo tag, wherein it will tell when the photo was taken, at what time it was taken, and in which place it was taken. So these are all the things, very minutely the people from the NAC they look for. And here it's only a template, like one data template, for the earlier questions. Okay. Here you need to create for year 1 and year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Every year you have to give data. How many journal books are there? How many journals are there? What is the expenditure? Total expenditure, and you have to give link to the relevant document, proof for that. Okay, if the proof is available online, give the link also. This is how for a library we need to prepare for all such things. Fine. Now coming back to the 7 criteria, and here you see normally we say, okay, curriculum, bhaiya, curriculum, it means librarians, we don't teach, but we say that we are teachers of teachers. Then when it comes to curricular aspects, when management says come and support for curricular aspect, at that time, sir, in what way I am connected? I don't teach, but please, my dear friends, we are playing a very important role in the colleges and the universities. As an academic council member, the librarian needs to be very proactive in supporting the faculty of various departments with rich print and electronic resources. Never think that in what way I'm connected. The curriculum, most of the time the faculty may not be knowing what is the current trend, which are the new emerging concepts, which are the new emerging laws or theory available. So for that, we the librarians making use of our print and electronic resources and citation databases, you need to highlight department-wise. These are all the new concepts which needs to be incorporated in the syllabus. So you support them. You do your duty. Whether the faculty care for you or not is a secondary. Okay. So you do your duty. That's all. Okay. And in many of the degree colleges or university, fortunately, that there is a one library and information science subject being one of the optional, which can be opted by our students. And this is a time we, the librarians who are very dynamic, should convince our students, Bhaiya, you take this library science, my dear students, you take the library science as an optional subject. We are there to help you, because when we compare to the teaching faculty and ourselves, we are more often, active, and we are more often say that optimistic in a more better way. We can, just very user friendly. Rather, we can say very user friendly with the students. Definitely, I have seen here in especially this region that majority of the students, they opt the library science as an optional subject. This is good for us, isn't it? And not only that, very recently, the University Grants Commission, in this letter, December 2019, it has come out that compulsorily there should be a one subject that is on research and publication ethics. We should have a 2 credit and 30 hours. This should be a compulsory for a PhD coursework. Means each and every scholar, is irrespective of the department, has to undergo this sort of an theory and practice. And who is better than librarians to teach? Isn't it? This is an opportunity that UGC has given, and here you need to be active. You cannot say that let others teach, whoever wants. I'm a librarian, I'm a very busy person sitting in the 4 walls of the library. You can't say, Baba. See, this is an opportunity UGC has fortunately given, and show your smartness, because these all the topics are our cup of tea, isn't it? So in this way, I think we can really do wonders for the NAAC, and we can build our image also. Coming to the criteria 2, teaching, learning, and evaluation. Sorry. Here we have, academic and research support. Of course, we are doing with whatever the print resource available, and also consortia like eShow the Sindhu. Now it's also called, earlier it was called UGC Infonet or Enlist. Now it has become a eShow the Sindhu consortia. We are doing it. See, the one important aspect which we need to use it, there is, because whatever the points which I am giving, these are all the questions which was asked in that NAAC questionnaire. So based upon that only, where librarian can play important role, that I am trying to highlight it. Learning management system. So when it comes to learning management system in that questionnaire, if somebody handles that, then they say, we don't have a learning management system because we don't use either a Moodle or any other software. So then they will say no. So under such circumstances, librarian should say, sir, all teaching faculty, sir, there is a learning management system. We can adopt to our college or university. There are free softwares like Moodle, and very recently I have come across that Tata Consultancy Service, TCS ION. Okay, this is, they are giving the registration for a colleges and universities. We can go ahead. So these are all the things, we as a librarian, we have to plan well in advance, so that during the NAAC or every year, whatever the question that we need to fill it, we have some data, we have some stuff, so that we get better scoring. So, of course, institutional repository is one of the major things that we, the librarians, with pride can do it. Maybe a question paper, question bank, or faculty publications, or learning course materials also can be done here. So we can support here and play an important role. And how about the online class support? You see, because of COVID, nowadays, especially the colleges or universities are using this Zoom or other softwares. But before that, we see now, forget about this COVID, it will go, definitely it will go for next month. Okay, so we'll be free from COVID. But even then, we have to tell the management, we have to tell our principal or the university officer that, see, sir, we need to have online support, whether you go for a Zoom or you go for the Indian-based online class. We need to have a perfect system to be set up. It is not that only during holidays we can do it. You see, we can also tell, like especially one friend, we can tell our faculty, sir, anyhow you are taking face-to-face classes, fine, okay. But in the meantime, you can also have classes during vacation. You can use this Zoom. So all these, if at all we are using for this thing, then definitely our points will be more. Something wrong?
No, sir. Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Nothing, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now coming to criteria 3, we have a time, right? Coming through this criteria 3, I think this criteria 3, research, innovation, extension, which has around 250 marks for a university, we have a greater role than any faculty. So here librarians have really proved that they are worth enough. Of course, promotion of research facilities. See, we are already supporting, we are already supporting our faculty and students with a lot of electronic journals and databases, whether it's a free or a subscribe, and also with the print resources that we have, and also with our innovative services that we are rendering, maybe a CAS or a FDI, some personalized based services that we are already doing it. See, one important aspect of criteria 3 is that we need to have a research policy. Okay, so documentation of a research policy is required. How many universities, how many colleges are having a policy, the written policy, not theoretical policy. We are talking about a written policy. See, especially for a plagiarism, the research policy keeping in view of the UGC regulation, and it is we, the librarian, has to draft and get it approved from the authorities. See, these are all the things looked upon by the NAAC. They will ask us when you say, so I am the person who does the plagiarism checking for all the. Fine. Where is the policy? Where is the approval? Who has approved? What is the percentage? Right? So these are all things, like we need to document and get the approval. So research policy, not only for this, there are research policies has to be developed for other, even for publication also. Usually we can have a policy for publishing our articles, because research scholars should publish at least 2 articles as a part of their PhD. Then we need to have a policy that only the journals which are approved by UGC Care should be considered. See, that sort of a policy in a written way we need to develop. So all these, we need to support, and more than that, we also should support our faculty in developing their e-content, because there are marks. See, if you say 0, no, because you see, the faculty can develop the e-content. They have to upload an PG Pathashala. They have to start for some Swayam courses. At least one department. At least either in the first semester, second semester, we should promote and say that at least one student should seek one certificate course from Swayam or a MOOC platform. There are so many, even Swayam Prabha, even the education channel, we have to make promote the usage of it. And there are a lot of other initiatives are also available. But the only thing is, we the librarians, not just keeping quiet and leaving only to the concerned department or concerned faculty. You need to say, involve yourself and say here, assist the faculty. Okay. And very recently, you all might be aware that the Gnana Nidhi, very recently in this COVID reason, this was developed, and also Vijay Bhava. So what are all these things? These are all the learning course materials which are dumped, means which the faculty has to create and upload on Gnana Nidhi, and also the learning course material on Vijay Bhava. See, when the NAAC people, when you submit the data, at that time, Suppose if your content is available online on ePG Pathashala or Gyananidhi or Vidya Bhavan, you get a marks. If your faculty have not contributed much, or even library can also contribute their learning course material, they have to contribute. If such material is not available on this platform, then the marks will be very less. You will not be given a mark for these particular questions. And I was telling about this this criteria 3. The important aspect is like the research productivity. So here the research productivity, that is the IRINS. This is one of the best tool developed by InflipNet. I think we should hats off to InflipNet, which provides you the mirror of our faculty. We can see a Kundali. Kundali, हमारा faculty का Kundali क्या है? So this is the Kundali, boss. How many faculty have published their articles in Scopus, Web of Science, or a Google Scholar? Everything will be retrieved automatically. For that, you need to do some backup work, back-end work. I think Professor Kondo, Dr. Shivaram, in fact, they have initiated in Karnataka University, and we are also one of them, and we have developed this IRNS. I think this is going to be impressed for a NAC, and you will get better marks for a library and also for a university or a college. So kindly go through, kindly try to develop this sort of a thing for your university or a colleges by consulting. Okay, and of course in this there is one more subheading called 3.6 extension activity. Means let us not in this COVID, I think Dr. Nagappa is doing wonderful activity, social service. What is our extension activity beyond our own libraries? See that such activities can be done in the means during COVID. Whatever we are doing a social activity, it's a very great. Here I'm just to give one example. 1,000 Gram Panchayat librarians are trained. See, as a university librarian, in what way you are connected. So this is what extension activity which we the librarians have to do. This is one sample. I think you are all doing already wonders as an extension activity. Just I wanted to show you one simple extension activity which is being practiced. And this project cost around 1.2 crore, which was sanctioned by our government, and which we have trained around 1,000 Gram Panchayat librarians to access Kannada content. We don't want English. Kannada content, 7th standard, 8th standard, or a degree, basic social science Kannada books are made available, including competitive examination. Fine. So, of course, the criteria for what I need to tell, because it's our cup of tea, we will be doing it. And in this, we have to ensure that our library should become a happening place. Fine. So, and also support the other facets like 4.1, 4.3, 4.4. Okay, this is all criteria 4 which we already touched upon. So, criteria 5 is student support and progression. Here, you see, how we are already making a very good support for our students, isn't it? See, one of the questions which, when you are filling SSR report, you will come across competitive examination cells. To see whether there is a separate, there may be a separate department in your college or university. Forget about it. As a librarian, normally I think almost all the colleges or universities, probably they are having a separate center. Even if it is not available, you develop a separate one room for as a competitive examination and information resource center, and try to put all the current books concerned to competitive examination, maybe like UGC NET, JRF, banking, railway, KS, IS, ITS. See, whatever the competitive examination books are there now, just dump in it. Okay, that becomes your showcase to the NAC. See, whatever we are doing, we are not doing just for a NAC, also for our satisfaction, to also for rendering a better services to our users and build the image. So nowadays, very recently I have gone. There are so many mobile apps have also come, because now our students are their mobile based, so they want to access, they're not coming to the library, no problem, let them not come. But here, what we can do, for a competitive examination, there are mobile apps like, Mint Book is there, Copy Kitab is there. I think very recently, Dr. Satish Kumar Vasmani, so under his leadership, they have developed a mobile app for competitive examination. That is, I think, E-Sarva Janika, something like a mobile app. So these all, we can promote for our students, and also play important role in creating alumni of librarians, alumni of our department. See, you support not only with the traditional, and also there are a lot of softwares are available. Just invest a bit, and we can really promote this criteria, and we can become again a king of this criteria. Also, the more important is like governance and leadership, right? So in this leadership, what is more important is, we have been taught by our esteemed teachers, library management, we know the concept, but are we really implementing our management skills in our library is again a big challenge. Leadership probably is one such area which we have not explored in our libraries. I think we need to explore. The library and our staff should excel their leadership ability and contribute for an institutional vision. And you see, that's why, because of our leadership only, today we have been appointed as a IQC director or a NAC coordinator, a IT statutory officer, academic council, whatnot. You see, for that, we only one request is never say, see, library should accept whatever the responsibility that has been given by your management or a college or a principal or a university professor, whatever they give, you just accept it. Never say no. Never say, "Arey yaar, it's a burden. Arey mera खुद का काम नहीं हो रहा है, मैं क्या करूं? I am only single librarian. मैं क्या करूं? अरे, that is the problems are bound to be there. But within the limitations of the system, try to do the best. Because I know the system, I know the limitations of where we are working. But all the time we cannot say murmur. We cannot murmur the same question, same problem. See, we have, but within the limitations of the system, we have to do the best possible that is available. Okay. And the last is institutional values and best practices. My dear library professionals, you see, I am too young or I am too, not that intelligent than you. See, you're all doing it. The only thing is I tried my level best. Here we are all doing the best practices. See, what, there are some best practices when normally I think for a NAC 2 or 4 will be asked as a university, as a college. So you also try to put your best practice in that best practices, because the best practices only 2 or 4 probably, not more than 4 best practices can be included in the SSR report. So you have to have your own best practices from the library. Maybe go green. Why can't we do it? Doing in a Bangalore, like Dr. Radhakrishnan, I think close to get 1 crore they have spent for their spending for a green library. It's the best practice to make the students to fit on the external environment, provide them not only just platform to fit just outside in the green environment. You also ensure that Wi-Fi facility is given. They should be able to access the electronic resources under e-show, the Sindhu or Analytics, whatever you have. See, that gives more strength. And also the best practice that we can go for developing all manuals. How to search a book? You develop one manual. You need to develop the manual for your college or a manual for a university. Okay, so some code of conduct, some code of ethics you need to develop. That becomes the best practice. Of course, we are all instituting the best awards to our students based upon the usage or a frequency or the top. And I just request that so for faculty also you because now we are also developing that IRINF database. Based upon that, you will come to know that which faculty has received highest citation for the paper. See, you just note down during the Librarians Day, you give him an award saying that, sir, faculty, sir, you have received the highest citation in our college. Okay, so that sort of award you can give. See, there are so many best practices we can do for a library and for our institute. Only thing is, we need to be a part of it, never say no. So to conclude, let us be very positive and never say to never no. Now, because now we have reached a stage, we cannot say that अरे चलेगा चलता है करेंगे नहीं, we can do it, not an issue. But we need to concentrate, now today, because people although we are doing although we are doing a lot of things in the library, but even then also, still in the eyes of a management or faculty, we are second only. See, don't bother. We librarians do not need any certificate to prove our worth, but rather make others to feel the inevitability of a librarian in the NAC process. They should feel that, "Arey yaar, librarian ke bina kaam nahi chalega. We want librarian. He is a knowledgeable," because that sort of a thing we have to impress. You just simply telling that, "Arey, librarians are not being cared. हमको कौन भी care नहीं करता. हम बहुत काम करते हैं." अरे करते भैया, हम लोग बहुत काम करते हैं. But don't bother about that. Don't expect any certificate from others. You do sincerely. because now this is a challenging era of Google era. So we need to prove ourselves of worth and do see sincerely, and especially in the snack, because the librarian needs only one subject, one subject is just librarian who deals with entire gamut of knowledge is in our hand. As a faculty, we are dealing only with one subject. We deal with all the subjects. That is an advantage. With this, I thank all the Kala members and all my senior librarians for giving me this opportunity to be part of this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Suresh Jange. Professor Asundi sir. Hello, Asundi sir.
Yeah, you have to. I think it is muted. It has been muted.
1 minute, sir.
You are unmuting.
Asundi, okay. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Thank you very much.
Okay,
hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you
yes,
very much, and one of the best lecture. And I have some some suggestions in addition to what you excellently have presented.
Yes, sir.
And the NAC has a stress on the best practices. Actually, you have touched upon that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
and another thing is that if all the librarians are prepare the best practices recording,
yes, sir.
And that can be shared. And I would like to bring to your to all the listeners that actually we have prepared a pro forma for recording the best practices apart from the NAC. Okay. And second thing is that in any college going for the NAC, they can include some senior librarians to associate themselves with the NAC preparation for the college. Okay. And in one of the exit meeting that I was present, the chairman of the peer committee really welcomed, and actually he appreciated this aspect that senior professionals are included in the NAC assessment meeting and committees. Okay.
Okay.
And another thing is that we are going to represent through Kala and other associations, professional associations, and to include the university librarian as a member of the peer committee for assessing the libraries. Because the peer committee members are not aware of the library practices and facilities, and they are just asking some questions which are not relevant to the library development. Okay, so we will represent to the NAC and the NBA through Kala as well as Karnataka State Library, Karnataka College Library Association as well as University Library Association, to compulsorily to include a university librarian as a member of the peer committee to assess the library facilities and services. In fact, when I was in the SIT Tumkur, I went to there only for the National Board of Accreditation, and I suggested to the chairman that the NIT librarian or the IIT librarian should become the member of the peer committee to assess the colleges, engineering colleges, libraries. And the chairman really welcomed in the exit committee.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, great.
Yeah, sir. And also, some of the questions are there. Professor Jange, can I allow them to take some questions?
With great pleasure.
Yeah. The first one is Vandana Kandelwala. You have any questions?
Yeah,
hello.
Sir,
yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, please elaborate IRINS.
Okay, madam, you are from the college or from the university?
Yes, sir. I am from MIT Academy of Engineering. It's an autonomous institute, sir.
Okay. If at all you wanted to have this IRNS, that's a research information management system for your institute. Okay. So you need to contact. The InflipNet. Okay. There is a Shivakumar, and also if you want, you can also contact one more. I don't remember. Or also our professors who are well aware. You just contact the InflipNet Shivaraman, and
Okay.
you can write a letter to them that we wanted to establish the research information management system for our institution. So they will,
Okay.
there is one Excel format. Okay, they will provide you
Okay.
an Excel format, or I can also provide you that format wherein
Okay.
you need to collect the faculty profile, like his first name, second name, email ID, okay, then mobile
Okay.
number, his Google Scholar ID, Scopus ID, Web of Science ID. Okay, they were all the one proforma is there. You need to fill that proforma and send
Okay.
it to InfluBNet. They will post. Means they will develop. They have developed a very good programming in this. Automatically, when you click on a particular faculty, it will tell you how many means that particular faculty, how many articles he has published in Scopus, how many articles have been cited. Okay,
Okay.
so this is a
Yes.
very good. It is a very automatic. You need not collect all the list of articles by giving that Scopus ID or a Web of Science Research Scholar ID. Okay, or
Okay.
ORCID ID, automatically that will be that the software itself will take away. Means it will retrieve
Okay.
that data. That's the very best part that InfluBNet have developed. You kindly contact the InfluBNet people. They will help you in establishing. And
Okay.
after this also you can speak. Okay, you can take my mobile or email ID. You can kindly speak to me later. I will help you my best possible.
Sure, sir. Sir, please, can I have your mobile number, sir?
Yeah, we will share with you, madam. We will share with you, madam. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Rajkumar, please go ahead with your question. Hello?
Hello. Sir,
Dr. Rajkumar. Dr. Rajkumar.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, tell me, sir.
I think he is unable to hear. Yeah, one more, madam. Madam Dhana, NKT, please go ahead with your question. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I think she is also not audible. Sir, one question is, one of the person is asking, what is the rational or justified percentage of library usage of to get the full marks?
See, actually, for that usage, I said you that sir, some 4 marks are there.
Okay.
How they will evaluate is they will give you a ranking 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, sir.
0, 1, 2, 3. If they give 3 means you will get complete marks assigned for that.
Okay.
See, normally, usage is a major issue in our library system because
Yes,
as a practicing librarian, we are all well aware. We are well aware that especially in the state university or colleges,
Yes, sir.
how many users are coming, maintaining the statistics is a difficult task. But we are trying our level
Reddy.
best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are trying our
Actually,
level.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir.
the NAC team and the NBA team, they ask for the gate register to find out the attendance to the library, and you have to maintain meticulously the gate register, because when I was in one of the colleges as associated with the NAC assessment,
Okay, sir.
okay, the chairman called for the gate register to find out the attendance to the daily attendance to the library. Okay, this is one of the important aspects.
Okay.
Mr. Suresh Jenge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Jenge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Krishnamurthy.
Sir.
There is a question for the IRNA. There is a Vidwan also, site called Vidwan. Same, InfluBNet, this IRIS website is called Vidwan. And Mr. Kannan is in charge for that.
Yeah, I forgot that name. Kandan and also from our own state, Professor Kondor sir and Dr. Shivram also helped in this regard. They can be contacted anyway. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Krishnamurthy.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Dr. I think Kannan has left InfluBNet now.
Oh, he left,
No,
yeah? Oh,
yeah.
but last
left.
week,
Sir, he left,
last
but
week.
he's in. No,
Yeah.
but still he is a part of that agenda, sir.
Yeah,
But
that's
still he
correct.
is maintaining that website details. I got a mail from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Krishnamurthy. Yeah, I think no more questions, sir. Yeah, sir, please wind up, sir.
Okay.
Sunday sir, yeah,
two
vote of
things.
thanks. Yes, sir.
Before vote of thanks,
Yes.
Dr. Jange mentioned about the research policy. Another activity the librarians can take up in the universities is the research in progress. That is actually the documentation which we were practicing long back. But
Okay,
now
sir.
with the research in progress, they will have a very good rapport with the faculty members, and they
Right, sir.
would love to this one. Another thing is Dr. Rangnath, H.A. Rangnath, who was the director of NAC, and to him we suggested to include the user education in information literacy, digital literacy as a part of teaching program for the librarians. So that can also be implemented to increase the visibility of the librarians. Okay, thank you. I
Yes,
thank
sir.
Dr. Suresh Jange.
Sir,
for
sir,
his
1 minute,
excellent
sir. 1
lecture
minute, sir. 1
and
minute,
all.
sir. Yeah, there are two more questions.
Okay.
One questions from Dr. Suresh
Okay.
Ballutige. Dr. Suresh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Suresh, please go ahead with your question.
Oh,
Yeah, Dr. Suresh, yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, Jange sir, it was very nice presentation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you,
Sir,
Suresh.
just I have one question. Question is, sir, at your NAC, during the NAC, you had mentioned in one of the slide 4.24 point, last page of accession register. So regarding this, my question is, if there is no accession manual accession register, can you take a print and use it as a accession register and upload it?
You see, from the university setup, suppose if at all we are using automation software like Koha or any other, there is no, we can take up the printout, we can take up the printout of action register, action this thing, and we can later onwards we can formally bind it and keep it. There is no need to have a manual register and enter all the details. When the all the bibliographical details are already available on our online support, means maybe in Koha, why there is a necessity of again entering the same details in the action register? I don't think we can just avoid it. There is
So
no
it's
need.
acceptable, sir.
Yeah, 100% acceptable. But because
Okay.
we are certifying also, na? When we take a printout,
Yes.
we
Yeah,
are
that is true.
certifying by the librarian. That's enough. What is it?
Okay.
Dr. Suresh, one more, thank you, Suresh. Dr. Suresh, one more question from Dr. Timmegowda.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah.
Dr. Timmegowda, please. Yeah,
Sir,
okay.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. Yeah, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನನ್ನ question my question is, so regarding e-resources, so mark is 5 marks is a letter for e-resources.
Okay.
My question is, I have subscribed Enlist from Infobnet.
Okay.
So whether it is enough or have to subscribe any other resources, because this is government institution, the amount is very meager, so we cannot spend more money for other private resources center. So this is enough for NAC purpose, sir?
Sir, as I am also as a college librarian, I also feel that you are getting from Enlist, okay, that's more than enough. What you can do you can develop a website and list out all the free resources which are already available. Okay, maybe National Digital Library of India, everything. You just give a link and make existing subscriber from Infobnet is more than enough to get a full mark for your college.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Subhas Reddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Subhas Reddy, I have a last question for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suresh Jenge.
Sir.
Suresh Jenge, sir. This NIRF, National Institute
sir.
of Rank Framing Work.
Okay,
And
sir. Yes, sir.
there is some allegation about that. People are complaining it is favoring for the private organization or private universities. Is it true or not?
Sir, on this, sir, this is on this platform, I cannot say, but I can call you later and tell you the other things. Okay. We have to only respect only. That's all.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Asundi, sir.
Oh, I am ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
I must thank Dr. Suresh Jange for this excellent lecture. And I know Suresh right from the very early days when he was a student of Bachelor of Library Science. I used to go to Gulbarga University, and since then he has been a wonderful library professional and developing year after year. Now I think he has come on the very peak of his career. Thank you, Dr. Suresh, once again. And I thank on behalf of the Karnataka State Library Association, on behalf of all the professionals, and also thank all the participants, 100 participants who have made this particular program very successful, the second program very successful. And we look forward for the participation of others in the next our webinar through the Kala. Thank you very much.
Ready. 1 minute, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
Actually, I want to acknowledge to my senior librarians, particularly Professor Mutaya Kognurmat, Dr. R.B. Gadigimat, and all my senior librarians, for really making me making me to learn a bit about the NAC and other activities. And also thank all of you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Suresh, final question. Can we share your PPTs with the participants?
Sir, I have already sent my PPT to Reddy.
Yes, sir.
Distribute that PPT to all. Otherwise, they can also contact me. I will share. I will send the PPT. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
You can upload on your website also. Okay, no issues.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.